All right, this is my update video for the month of October. I know it's in the middle of the month, but there's a lot of things I want to talk about. It's starting to cool down here in San Antonio, and I want to get to a lot of these bats that I have in front of me. I'm going to kind of go through them in a minute, talk about them, a few things I want to get to. Before I do that, the first thing is shaving. I talk about this every month, and I've found out a few things, especially when I was in Vegas. A lot of people come up and talk to me about their experience or what they've heard, which I don't like going by hearsay. A kind of common sense kind of tells me a lot of things. And a lot of the guys were coming up and talking to me about their experience with people who shave bats. What happened was during this whole thing, for the last month, I've been talking to a buddy of mine in the East Coast, and he sent me a shaved bat. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time. A lot of you guys ask me how much, what's the difference between a shaved bat and a senior softball bat? And I would always tell them from what I can see, not really knowing, but from what I can see, it's a big difference. Not just a small difference, because a lot of people are asking that question. So what I actually did is a video on it. I got this shaved bat about 2 weeks ago. I started the video, I kind of talked about it. Then we went out and hit it, but I didn't tell my guys what it was. I just wanted them to break a bat in for me, and I was giving it to them. Wind was blowing in. We were hitting a lot of other bats that I'm going to show you at the end of this video. And just watch the video on it. I don't want to get into it because this video is probably going to be pretty long, and I don't want it to be. Just watch the video. It's I'm doing kind of like a review, sort of, about the question that I was asked for the last, 10 years on what's my experience. And I really couldn't say. I just assumed, or common sense would kick in and say it's got to make a big difference, especially when you're shaving a senior bat. I will say this: the person who shaved this bat wasn't any good at shaving, but it did increase the performance on it, and the money that they charged for it, which was $300, is outrageous. The bat didn't last a long time. You can watch the video. It didn't last a long time. Probably could have got, maybe with a smaller person swinging, it probably could have lasted 3 tournaments. There were a few other things. Just watch that video when it comes out. I've already done it. I don't want to do any spoilers. And I had heard this about 6-8 months ago, and then I clarified it when I was in Vegas, and I actually went to the source somewhere in the United States. I'm going to not say where it's from, but somewhere in the United States, there is a well-known bat shaving company that shaves. That's all they do. They have machines that shave these bats. Last year, he profited $175,000 off shaving bats. And 80% of them shaving, the bats that they shaved, came from seniors. 80% of that. That was only one guy that's a well-known bat shaver in the United States. $175,000 he profited off shaving bats last year. Guys, this is a lot bigger than you guys think it is. This is a problem, guys. Something's got to be done, and let's not wait for somebody to die. Watch the video of me hitting and listen to me talking about the balls that I hit up the middle. There's one ball that I hit down the line with a shaved bat that it doesn't matter if you're playing major plus, it wouldn't 55, 50s, it would have took their head off. On a ball that I hit, I assumed it was, I'm not bragging or anything, I'm just saying I hit a ball down and that ball just shot through the infield. And the sound that the bat makes when you hit it, that'll give you guys a little bit of a clue, because this is a shaved bat in this video, and I even say at the beginning that we're hitting. So watch for the video. If you guys never did fasting or always heard about fasting, I do fasting quite a bit. In the last 3 months, I've dropped 28 pounds in my videos. You can see it. I've done intermittent fasting. I've worked my way up to 48 hours. I started at 16, and then went to 24, then 48. It's not as bad as you guys might think, but it's a reboot. I'm doing a video on this fasting thing, and it's a reboot for the system. It actually helps your blood sugar levels. If you're type 2 diabetes, if you guys have any health issues, I think if you have a injury an injury in your body, I think fasting is the quickest way, instead of taking injections of different things, HGH or something like that. HGH is one of the things too, but fasting increases HGH, which actually helps heal the body. So if you're injured, and I'll put a video out on this, if you're injured, I've done a lot of research. If you're injured, the first thing I would do is start fasting. Don't start eating, just start fasting, because it increases HGH, which actually heals a lot of things, a lot of tendons, a lot of muscles, bones in your body. I had my son, when he broke his leg, do some fasting, and then when he had shoulder surgery last year after football, I had him do some fasting, and he healed very fast. And again, he was 17 years old too. So a lot of you seniors out there, you want to correct problems. I get this quite a bit, asking me what can I take or what can I do. Not going to the doctor, not taking pain meds, because I think a lot of you seniors out there are getting tired of going and getting a prescription for just painkillers. I've got another way, a few natural ways, and then fasting is one of the best. I would start just fasting, but I'm going to do a whole separate video on that. I'm going to start, this is another thing too I want to talk about before I forget it, because it's not on bullet points, is we're a lot of seniors in San Antonio. It's with senior softball. San Antonio senior softball players out of San Antonio, they play league nights at normal. I don't play league, I just play tournaments, but they play league night. And what I wanted to do with them is not only have my guys hit our bats like you see in the video, I'm gonna start going out to where they but where they practice. Here in San Antonio, and there's about 10 to 15, 20 at one time, get out there. I'm gonna take my bats and videotape their reactions to the new bats, because a lot of them are still swinging the old bats. So, and a lot of those guys, this is their off season, so they're going to get ready for next season. And I think this would be a great time to have a lot of the older, they're all the way up to 80 out there, 80 years old. But a lot of the 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old guys can swing these bats and kind of get, instead of just us talking about them, you can get their reactions on the bats that I actually talk about. And they do, I've done this in the past, and they do give me input where I actually do take it, and when I'm doing the review on a lot of these bats. So we're going to start going out there on Wednesdays, I think, whenever they hit like on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, from what they were telling me, and kind of get them involved in senior softball bat reviews. A lot of you guys about a year ago talked about this ball whenever I got it, and they said it wouldn't last you a year. Well, this is that ball, and it's almost a year next month. No, 2 months. It's 10 months already. We've hitting this ball for 10 months, not a problem with it. And you guys can see in the video, we've been hitting this ball. It's in my bag. That's the spinners, the tattoo spinners. So I'm going on a year, and it hadn't cracked, hadn't tore up, hadn't even lost color that much. So these are the balls we're hitting. Very good balls to hit. We have not cracked the bat on these balls. 0 in the last 10 months we've been hitting it. We've cracked bats, but not on that ball right there. The ball that we hit on our BP, and we don't go to any other ball, if we find other balls, we kind of throw them out or give them to other seniors. The Thunder Advance. What I like about this ball, it holds up in the heat. Because of the heat down here in San Antonio, it doesn't lose that much of a compression during the heat, because a lot of balls out there will. I like the way this ball flies. It's not one of the top line, but I actually think it's a true 44 375 compression ball. That's why we hit them. We've got I'll probably run about 4 cases of these. And another thing too, when we hit balls, I have guys come out and hit with me lately, and when we hit balls, we only hit like one. We don't go out and pick the balls up and bring them back and hit them again. We just go through one round of balls, and that's it. It kind of keeps the guys in there, and I got a rotation that goes on, which they don't listen to, but I got a rotation that goes on about how many swings they can take. But I have probably 5 or 6, big ass bags of balls, the military style bags of balls, and we hit those, and we'll just go out one time and pick them. It makes it a lot easier whenever we hit. I'd rather do that than go in and out and walking in and out. It kind of takes away from your swing a little bit, I think. I think a lot of seniors out there need to do that instead of walking in and out, because it takes away from your swing. My YouTube channel is changing, guys. I'm going to this. I've been thinking about this for a year, especially after COVID. A lot of you guys are staying at home. A lot of you guys can't get to a lot of these training spots. You know, they have them a lot in Florida. They have them in California, Phoenix. A lot of these pros put them on. What I wanted to start something different here is do a lot of talking and training, weight training. And I thought, because these guys, you know, y'all guys pay money to go see this, and y'all go to, you know, Softball Magazine has them. They have a senior market down there where a lot of people go down there and talk to the pros, kind of look at their product, and then actually they'll train you or teach you how to hit. What I thought about doing, and they charge pretty good money, not bad money, but they charge pretty good money, is doing it online and have my own little training. And in this training, I would talk about not only just hitting, I would talk about a ton of other things. So what I want to do is a paid prescription, and it's not going to be a lot, guys, $5 to $25 a month. But per person, you know, the lowest is $4.99, I think it is. A lot cheaper, in my opinion, than going and going driving and because I've looked into doing like a lot of people ask me out of Texas, why don't you just have these, you know, places where you can look at their swing and talk to them, and it's a bunch of people, you know, and I thought about it. I'm like, you know, something, it's going to be anywhere from $200 to, you know, $350 a person. They've got to get their own room. That's going to be a lot of money for a lot of seniors out there that cannot afford this. So I thought about this as actually just putting it up online. You seniors can go in there and look at what we do, or what I do, and things I talk about. There's a few things I want to talk about on this paid prescription. If you're a subscriber, paid prescriber, it'd be a podcast, it'd be training tips, hitting tips, pitching tips. Guys, I was a pitcher for 30 years and competed at the highest level. I'm not going to talk about who I played for or what I did or what tournaments I was at and who I struck out. I'm not going to talk about a lot of that things. Nutrition, balance points, SARMs, selective androgen receptor modulators. What are the better ones for you if you're looking at healing an injury? You know, how long to stay, because you can't stay on for a long time. You know, how long do you stay on them? A lot of you guys don't know this, but SARMs was something, it's a research chemical. It's not approved by the FDA, but they were actually, it was actually put out there for cancer patients, a muscle wasting disease from the AIDS patients and stuff like that. It hasn't, a lot of these SARMs has not been approved by the FDA. So I'm gonna kind of candidly talk about, you know, this experimental drug that you can buy. You know, you got to buy it. They sell them here in San Antonio, but you got to watch which one to buy. So I'm actually going to talk about all this. TRT, testosterone replacement. Testosterone replacement therapy, launch angles, T-work, what my opinion is about T-work, what my opinion is about launch angles, hydration, Cialis. That's another one I want to put in there too. Talk about Viagra. Does it benefit softball? Performance enhancing drug, a lot of you guys talk about. I want to talk about Cialis, what it does to us older men, and not only what they claim that it does, but there's other benefits to Cialis that I want to talk about. DECA, I want to talk about if you guys have had a knee replacement, if you guys have had a hip replacement, you know, neck, if you've got gear in your neck, talk about gear, talk about titanium plates in your neck. You've got to be on something that actually keeps you from getting any kind of bacterial infection. Keeps you safe. There's things that you can take over the counter that will help with this. Oregano. So these are just little things I want to talk about on this channel. It's a paid prescription channel. Cooking. I'm going to start cooking because I do all the cooking in the house. As a matter of fact, I got salmon cooking right now. What's best for us seniors to eat if you have type 2 diabetes? The reason I want to talk about this because I'm 62 years old, and what I've experienced in my life is a lot of good doctors. My wife is in a position where I got to have access to a lot of good doctors, and I created a friendship with them. And I would ask a lot of questions. It's just the people that I came across while I've been doing this for 42 years, playing softball. And these are just little things I can pass on to you. A lot of you guys don't even know about. So I figured if I do this paid prescription channel, it'd keep the freaks away, the assholes away, the trolls away, And that way you're gaining knowledge just by coming home. And I put out a video a week. You come home and you look at the video, and it's something that they don't teach you in these training places where you go and they actually talk to you about how to hit the ball. I'll still go into that too. I want to talk about training tips. There's a lot of people out there doing weightlifting that you do need to stay away from because it hampers your swing. And I see them, I'm like, oh my God, no, cool, don't do that. Talk about infusion. I think infusion is the way of the future. Before you play tournaments, especially, a lot of the pro athletes actually get out there and do it, who I've talked to in the last 22 years because of my wife. Creatine, talk about that. Cooking channel, all that's going to be implied in this paid prescription. I want to launch it in probably another couple months, and then if you guys, here's the deal, I'm still going to have my channel. I'm still going to do the bat reviews. The one thing I will filter more toward the paid is a lot of the instructional videos, a lot of how to tomahawk a ball. I mean, a lot of guys ask, how do I cut? Who taught me how to cut? Bill Blake taught me how to cut in the 80s, and tell you my approach on how to cut. You know, I want to talk to you guys about pressure situations, how to handle that pressure situation, and what got me, you know, to handle it a lot better than a lot of people out there handle it, and wanting to be in that position to actually win a game or get a hit to win a game or something like that. A lot about pitching. Okay, now I'm going to talk about bats. And I'm going to kind of breeze through this. I'm already 20 minutes into this video if I don't cut anything out. And I usually do. A lot of you guys are talking to me about proton bats. A lot of you guys are talking to me about Onyx enough sets. And why are you doing reviews on Onyx? Don't you think you need to back off and give them a little time? I keep on hearing this shit, man. I haven't done it in the past, I'm not gonna do it now. I'm not gonna pick out one bat company and then play favorites, or, you know, not play favorites and be an asshole to them because they had a product that came out that a lot of guys didn't like, me included. If I did that, and this is a prime example, if I would have done that, I would have did it with Dudley. When Dudley started coming out with new product after the hot W's came out, remember that? They started cracking, blowing up. And they left a lot of guys hanging in that situation. I didn't stop doing Dudley. You know, I had one with me, but the Mikan Ultra 2s years ago, at least 10 years ago, came out with a bad batch of Mikan Ultra 2s. I didn't stop doing Mikan until they proved themselves. Why would I start doing it at Onyx? That's what I understand. And if I would have done it, guys, if I would have done it, I wouldn't have had these come up. This is a whole different batch of bats. I don't want to say batch because this is a whole different technology of bats that came out through Onyx that I've been fortunate enough to swing in the last 3 weeks after I got back from Vegas. I like the way these bats perform. They're not like the other ones. They're not like the ones that, even the first ones I did, they're not like that. They just didn't redo them. They're totally different than those. If I had just gave up and listened to a lot of you guys, you know, and if you don't want to do Onyx, don't do Onyx. That's why I do this shit. I give you an option to do whatever. You don't want to do Onyx because you got screwed, then don't do them. Go to another bat guy. I mean, here's the deal. I'm going to start doing it, and this is actually, and I'm kind of jumping around, but it's gotten to be where, and I keep on hearing the guys reply, every week you come out with a number one. Well, shit, the technology is actually catching on. People are starting to listen to other people. People are starting to grab their bats, a top tier bat, and using it and going by the technology, because you know this shit happens, right? They grab it, they cut it open, they look at it, and they find out who makes it, so they go to them and say, hey, can you build me this bat? Yeah, that shit happens all the time. So what happens is you get a lot of top tier bats. You get a lot of number ones coming up every 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, there's another number one. There's another number one. Well, because of technology. And then somebody said the other day, you know, you keep coming out with another number one every 2 weeks. Well, they're coming out with a different bat, or maybe the bat's loaded. Give you a prime example. Why did the Big Cat beat the Johnny Bailey? Why did the Big Cat beat that bat? If you guys are minion, you're going to know why. Just look at the weight transfers. Look at the weight distribution. Look at the balance points. That's why that bat beat the Johnny Bailey. Both come from the same manufacturer, but 12-inch would outperform, right? 12-inch would outperform a 14-inch by science, by theory, right? But look at the balance points. That's why the big cat, because Mike Masenko had them load them hands light. Guys, you heard me talk about the hand weight. You can't make a balance bat expect to be in top 10. Not gonna happen. Because my top 10 right now is every one of them are top performing bats. You can pick any of my top 10 and go out and swing it. I'm gonna start putting them together now because we've got so many bats. It's gonna turn into, I've gotta find out what's the shittiest bat out there and just do a review on that. Okay, this is the bat, I can't even pick a bat out of here now. I'm gonna come up with a bat and go, this is the bat, don't swing. Because all the other ones are good as shit. That's what it's turned into. It's no longer like the way I used to do it. Because everybody's catching on. Everybody's in a group just going up there and finding out the technology's different. Everybody's listening to everybody. People are jumping from ship to ship. Now the guy that was over here goes to this guy over here. That happens all the time. And he knows the technology that they used. So now he's a player rep for over here. So he goes over there and starts talking about, okay, this is what you need to build a bat. And they listen to him and they build the bat the same way. A lot of these bats are made in China. Most of them are made in China. They have the SKU numbers, they have everything. So if this bat guy over here that had been swinging this bat for umpteen years or 5 years or 3 years, all of a sudden this guy over here wants him, so boom, he jumps over here, promise him a little bit more shit or maybe a little bit more money per bat that he sells. He brings that technology over here and tells them, because they told him how they built his bat, he comes over here and spreads the technology over here. So what happens? You got two bats the same, boom. Different manufacturers, but they're built the same. That's what's turning in it. That's what this is turning into now. And then you guys are telling me, have you done this, baby? It's got to be where I just, which one's the shitty bat now? Not the best performing bat, because 13 years ago, 14 years ago when I was doing this, it was like, what's the best performing bat out there? No, right now it's what's the shittiest bat out there. I don't want to swing it. Because all the other ones are good. Look at my top 10. I can swing, this is the first time where I can swing any of my top 10. From number 1 to number 10. At a tournament. Now, I would pick the one that broke in a lot faster. So I would pick what? Alan Tanner. The new Alan Tanner. A lot of you guys, I see this on Facebook, you're throwing in the old Alan Tanner. The 12.5-inch barrel. No, I did a review on that bat. That bat's shitty. It's the newer one. The Miami Dolphins color. What is it, a teal and an orange? It's Bubba's Gamer. It's what he's swinging right now. That bat is hot. That bat has game-ready technology, which I'm going to talk about with this bat here in a minute. If you just got mad at a bat company like this one right here, these bats are coming out. There's an actually orange one that I don't have with me because someone else took it because it's a high-performing bat. These are the bats you're going to see us swinging with the next couple of months. These bats right here. If you don't want to swing them, that's fine. You have that choice. I'm not telling you to swing them. These bats are hot. This is a balance. The 12-inch, we're going to be swinging it tomorrow. And I'll do a video on that next week. But that's the bat that is come in. These are production models. These were in Vegas. These are the bats that they're going to be put out. And I will be swinging those bats too, because what Onyx did last year was the red flag for me. When I do a review on a bat, I'll get the production models. Usually, 99% of the time I do get production models, but if it's not, I'll get the next batch. If you guys want to wait, I would recommend that. Yes, wait. I'll get the production models, I'll swing in it, say it's good to go. It's just like the last ones. I'm going to do that on the second batch. This is what it's turned into. I'm going to make sure that the second batch on all of these bats I'm going to show you today is as good as the first one that they put out that I did the review on. So that's going to help you guys, calm you guys down. If you want to wait, I would suggest this time of the year, hell yes, wait till I do the review on them. I think I got these out of the way. These are the bats that are coming up. I've already finished this one. This is the one that did the review on this one. This is the balanced. Look at my review on this. I cut a lot of video last night of this. This one right here is the end load. We got two more rounds of the end load. These bats are hot. So you guys can look at those in the video or behind the scenes that's coming up. I'm going to go right into the bats now. Mike Dill, I'm done with this review. Not a gamer, ready. Not even close to being a gamer ready. Listen to the video that's coming out on this bat. It's hard. We were pissed. It didn't have that feel like the Ultra Gamer. Remember it's the red bat, the Ultra. It was a gamer. Didn't have that feel, that soft barrel. That bat was hot, and it doesn't have the feel of the AT-18. That teal and orange looking bat that I did a review on, that it was number 1. It's actually ranked number 3 right now. It doesn't have that gamer ready, but this bat, if your bat speed is above 80 miles an hour and you grab it and swing it, you're going to get good performance on it, because it is a little hard, but it's going to get there, guys. And it's not going to take 300-400 swings. This one is close to it, but this one took about 250 swings of us swinging it. Once it got the seam, it's a balanced bat. This is a true balance, guys. This is 28 ounce, 27.5, 16.7 on the end, and 10.8 on the hand. So it's almost got 11 ounce hand weight. What happens when you got a balanced bat, this balanced, is you're not getting that barrel to flex on you, so we're not breaking it in fast enough. That's how come the other one's broke in faster. Barrel still, it's not soft. Like I'm saying, it's not gamer ready. This one's not. So if you guys grab it, think it's gamer ready, it's not. But it's not a bad bat. It's a good bat. It's just not gamer ready. Doesn't have that gamer technology. If it has something to do with, I don't know why. If it has something to do with the fusion, then that's what it is, the way they fused it together. I don't know. But this review's coming out within a week and a half. By the middle of next week, it'll be out. And I got a bunch of other reviews coming out too. But it's just not going to get there fast for you. You got to put some swings on it. It doesn't have that big mass on it, and it collapse that barrel to break that barrel in faster, or flex that handle a little faster. This one right here, very surprised on the way this bat performed. The problem with this was the load. I bought this one in Vegas. It's a 26.5. I need to move up to finish up this review, because I think I can get a little bit better performance. We got really good performance on this bat. A lot of the older guys liked it. It gets those striations in that barrel. I don't know if you guys can see that. It gets striations in the barrel, and it looks really good. I mean, the way the barrel has got the striations in it, which is a good thing, guys. The bigger, longer, the better. Big sweet spot on this bat. A lot of the older guys like swinging it. I'm just going to go up to a 27.5, and then I'll do the review on this one. So hang on, this one's coming out just a little bit later. I mentioned Proton. There is one guy, Bubba, man, he's been texting me, giving me a lot of information about Proton. It's been going on 3 months right now since I got the call from Charles telling me he wants me to swing their bat. He wanted my sizes. I gave my sizes, and then I got another call about 3 weeks later, and he said, hey, can you give me a call? And he talked to you. I didn't want to talk to him because I got so much shit going on, and I didn't want to hear why he hadn't got me my bats. So I just didn't want to talk to him. And I have nothing against Charles. I really don't. I'm not a phone guy. A lot of you guys know this. I'm more of a text guy. I'm not a phone guy. I don't like getting on the phone and talking to people. It just takes a lot, and I've got to, like I'm cooking. My son's in senior year in football. I've got a lot of stuff that he's doing this year. Me and my wife, Saturday nights go out dancing. Friday nights we go out to eat with a bunch of family, cousins and stuff like that. And it's been a ritual since we got married, and we've been doing that. So it's kind of hard when, I'm doing this right here all day long, cutting video up all day long. Like I told the guys, and I sent out this, I wish I can post it. I sent out this text to all my guys and said, you guys need to get focused, because I'm tired of cutting shit out. On a 2-hour video, I'm 5 hours on this computer right here. 5 hours on the computer for a 2-hour video, cutting shit out and listening to everything. Because if one guy says something bad about a bat company, or I heard that, or one guy's going, well, this guy shouldn't be batting in this position because they're talking about the tournament that they just lost, I've got to cut all that shit out. And I keep telling my guys, quit talking about shit that doesn't have anything to do with the bat we're swinging. And I got to keep on them. And they've been listening, so I'm doing that. And when I tell people, man, I'm cutting video up, and I'm the only one that does this. Nobody else does this. I've actually become very good at it. But I don't trust anybody to take this over and do it for me, because you're talking about my reputation on the line here. So I want to make sure that everything's, I'm a kind of micromanaging just this, not anything else. And I want to do it right. I want to do it where it's like telling a story when I do videos. So I got to get in my right mindset when I'm telling a story, right? So I'm telling a story on how the bat performs, or little points on when a guy swings it and he kind of like pissed off. I got to put those in there. That way it's not scripted. I've got to tell that story for y'all, because I don't answer your phone. Don't get butt hurt, you know. The next two bats, a lot of questions. So talk about the Proton. See, I lost my train of thought there. The guy Bubba's been calling me, hey, I want you to call him. No, this today. No, I'm not going to call him. He's way behind. Look, I'm going to show you all the bats, right? I'm going to try to make this I got 10 minutes. I'm trying to make this a 45-minute video. I'm going to show you all the bats that I'm doing. I'm not calling him. He should have got a hold of me 2 months ago. Should have sent me my stuff, my order 2 months ago. I'm not doing it. Nobody's going to jump in line, you know. So anyway, that's the deal with that. You guys are going to have to wait on the Proton, because they're not jumping in line. I finished the review on this bat. A lot of you guys, 12-inch balance that actually just got released. I got it, picked it up in Vegas. Almost done with this one. There's one other thing I want to find out about this one before I actually talk to you guys about it. But the video's coming out, and I'll let you guys know about this bat too. I'm actually going to go down in weight. That's a 27.5. And I want to see something. And basically it's just weighing it. I want to see by weighing it, because I think weighing a bat and getting your balance points is the way of the future. I can actually tell you, unless the barrel is different, if I weigh a bat, and I heard somebody else say this on a review the other day, that he really doesn't look at weighing. Well, you should look at weighing. A lot of guys out there look at weighing. A lot of my guys look at weighing. A lot of my minions look at how the bat's weighed. The weight distribution in the bat affects the performance of the bat. So if the bat's not weighed right when it comes from the factory, I can tell you 85% of the time that bat's not going to perform unless the weights are pretty close. That's like saying a balanced bat. If I didn't believe that, I would tell you a balanced bat's going to beat an end load. No, it's the way the weight distribution. Balanced bat will never beat an end load if you got them both the same. My top 10 are end-loaded bats, are not balanced bats. That's why you need to separate them. So, but for you guys not to look at the weighing, you got to look at the weighing. This I brought out. This is a hot bat. Y'all, you guys talk to me about this bat. This is a good bat. It should be in my top 10. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about putting it back in my top 10, because this is a good bat. I don't know where I put it, but this is a good bat. This is just for weighing references, weight distribution references. When I did the video talking about these two, right? I just wanted to show you guys something. That's how come I got both those bats. Onyx, Sernastrong, right here. I just raffled off the last one, I sold the last one on eBay. This is a hot bat. This one's brand new. We're gonna have to break it in. But this is a hot bat. It's the Sernastrong. Handles softer balls. Balls have been in the heat, which you don't have to worry about right now because it's not hot where you're at. This is another Serna, but it's by California Bat Company. This is another one piece. This is a balance bat. Very good performing balance bats. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if you're a balance guy, go out and get this bat. This bat is hot for a balance bat. This is a 26, end weight 16.4, hand weight's a 9.6, which that 9.6 is, you know, it's still in the balance area because look at the hand, look at the end weight, it's 16.4. So this is Miken's load on a lot of their bats, end loaded, half-ounce end loads. 9.6 on the hand. Johnny Bailey's a 9.6 on the hands on his 27, but his end weight's shit 16, half an ounce more, 16.9 on the Johnny Bailey. So that's what our balance bats are going to start going up a little bit. They're not going to put that, Miken does, but they're not going to put that big of a hand weight on that bat. Very good bat here. This is that was a very good bat too. This is the Balance from Onyx. 26 ounce, 16.5, 9.3 on the hands. Very good bat right here. That's a Balance bat. Wait till you see that video. I want to get rid of all these other ones before I talk about this one. Gotta wait for my kid to get out of here. This bat right here is Cell Block, Big Daddy, barely legal. We started swinging this bat. Its sweet spot's pretty small. You gotta really hit it in that one spot to get it going, but it looks good. We just gotta hit it another couple hundred times. We've been grabbing it, you know, whenever we're swinging a bunch of bats, and guys will throw it in there just to give the other bat a rest. This looks good. Everything looks good on this one. We'll let you guys know next couple of weeks where this bat goes. But we are swinging that one. You can see a lot of behind the scenes videos of us swinging a lot of those bats. All right, this new bat company. Hold on, Rev. This is a Balance bat 2 from Onyx. It's a 2-piece. Sounds like a shotgun first out of the box whenever you get it. It's a 26. This is a 27 ounce. I went up 26.5, 16.2 on the end, and 9.8 on the hands. That's another Balance bat we're going to be doing. These are good bats, both of them. The Onyx and all the ones I'm showing you are good. Now, little Mexicans everywhere. 1-piece, 2-piece. We're swinging those bats. We've done a few videos on them and put them out there. Those reviews will be out in the next 3 weeks because they're actually not going to jump in front of the line, although they are top performing bats. They're not going to jump in front of the line. 1-piece. This is the Q-tipper, 1-piece. Good bat. This is the Q-tipper 2-piece. Another good bat. This is the Sizzle Stick. That is a 2-piece bat. And here's the deal about these bats too. A lot of you guys just think it's different paint jobs, because especially these. Well, they just painted the bat different. No, they didn't. They did not paint these bats different. Every one of these respond differently. A little bit more flex in the handle on this one. A little bit, not much. A little stiffer in this one. Great response off this one. They perform really good. But you can tell barrel softness, their barrel softness and hardness is different too. So they just weren't painted all the same and then thrown in together and say, hey, do a review on them. They were not done like that. This bat, a lot of guys like give you a prime example. You see how they're all kind of pretty close to being same? A little bit more flex in the handle than this one, and this one than it is in this one. You're gonna have different balance points on a lot of these bats that suits everybody. Like, who's Leroy? Leroy was talking about a lot of these guys that have these bats gave their input, and it goes to each guy. Like each guy has a different input on the way the bat is performing, on the way bat's loaded. Different balance points. That's the videos we have coming out. These are just extras that I have left over because I wanted to get the weights right. We actually have, that one came in yesterday. We haven't hit that one. This was gonna be, this is a 26 ounce. We were swinging at 27. I thought I'd go a little lighter in the end load, and got it to where my balance points are at. So, you know, I talk about that. I have a balance point. 17 ounce end load, 8.8 on the hands, 8 to 8.8 on the hands. That's my point that I want to swing. You need to find yours. This one is it's a little bit, I went a little bit heavier on this. We got a 25, I went up to a 26. This one's 17 ounce on the end with 8.6 on the hands. That's a lot of my guys' balance points because that's why they order their bats. It's all by balance points. This is what we got, 42 minutes. This is what we got coming up. If I get the protons, I'll probably do some side video on the protons, behind the scenes video, where we're actually getting the bats broke in. A lot of the videos that you guys see coming up, a lot of the reviews I've already done on them, a lot of behind the scenes I've already done on them. If you guys want to go to my website, a lot of people are asking me what's my top 10. Go to my website, www.seniorsoftballbatreviews.com. It has it right there on the front page, and I got my balance in the middle, and then I think got my best bats I've ever swung in senior softball somewhere on the right-hand side in there too. And you guys can go up there and look. Guys, have a great year. For one thing that I want to really get into and I really want to talk about is how to get your quality of life back. And there's these little tricks that I know that I haven't talked about. That's how come I've been waiting so long. The workout routines that I do. I've got an off-season, I've already started it. Off-season workout routine. I started when I got back from Vegas, doing my off-season workout routine. I want to tell you guys in that paid prescription, a page that I got, that different page that I got on YouTube, you guys can go in there and I want to talk about that. I want to take you through it. I want you guys to work out with me. What little tricks you can do, like I was talking to somebody the other day when they were doing, sled pulls. And I just mentioned how to do them because I thought they were doing them wrong. That's what's better for softball. Everything that I do is better for softball. To make me be the top that I am. Not saying I'm a great top, but I'm just saying to work within my abilities, what I had, what my God-given talent, because I can't go beyond that, genetically. I'm not 6'8", so I got to, do with what God gave me and try to better that to make me a top performing athlete, and I love doing it. That's another thing too. I like talking about it. Have a great year, guys. I think I'm going to do another update video next month, kind of talk about all the progress I'm getting on a lot of these bats. We got reviews coming up and then this next week. All right, guys, this is going to be a two-part video. The one you just saw right there was October, I think is what I said at the beginning. It's been so long ago since I've cut that video up and I never got published, so kind of wanted to put a few together. This one, November, December, kind of put them together. It's right after Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. A lot of family around. I know we did. It was cold here. Make sure my computer's still going. It was cold here. Had a lot of family over. We had turkey. Every year we always have it at our house and have family and friends over our house. My daughter couldn't make it. She was up north with her fiance. My son was working. I just got back from working with him, doing some guiding for Baker 3 Ranch, and I go up again and, actually I'll be up there tomorrow getting everything set up, and then I'll be all next week, 5 days up there after I hitting on Tuesday of this next week because it's supposed to be pretty warm. So I got all the guys together and we're gonna go start hitting a couple of bats and then I'm done. End of the year, I'm done. But there's some things I want to talk about in this video that I did not get to in the last video because we got some of these in. I actually went 26, that's a 27. And I kind of wanted to look at the weights, but I'll get into that in a minute. A few things I want to talk about here. This is another one too, I don't think I talked about in the last video. This is the new Onyx 12-inch two-piece bat. It's got the thin handle. I'm gonna talk about that here in a minute too, but basically I've got same thing. I got bullet points here that I want to talk about. We're going to start doing, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, is doing reviews on other gear. Shoes, gloves, talk to a bunch of people. Bat bags, how do they hold up? Roller bags, how do they hold up? And we first want to get into shoes. And I've got a few shoes that I want to do a review on. The Onyx shoe that I really did like. I picked some up and we've been hit with them too. You guys seen our behind the scenes video. I picked some up in Vegas. I love them. There's some things I want to talk about, the pros and cons of getting that shoe from Onyx. The new one that they just put out. I really do like the way it feels. It's the cushion on the bottom. If you guys ever wore Hokas, those are expensive. I've had a few pair of those. I didn't like them too much because I thought for a bigger man, for a heavier man, I thought it was too cushiony and you kind of rolled around in the bottom of it. But walking around during the day, they're not bad. But when you're torquing in a box or you run around on the infield or it's AstroTurf, you kind of takes a wear and tear on your feet and your ankles, especially if you're over 200 pounds. You younger guys, y'all would love those. Somebody's texting me right now. We're going to start getting into that. I don't want this video to be long because you guys, I know you guys won't have nothing to do. You're sitting at home, probably out putting lights on after Thanksgiving on your house. But I'm going to give you some guys some things to actually think about, talk about. And this, I'll try to make it 15, 20 minutes. I'm already into it for 3 minutes. We got some balls, some different balls. actually. And I talked to the guy from Porch. These are them right here. This is a 52-300. And the reason I didn't get the 44-375 because he had told me the 44-375s are pretty hot. Well, I don't want to hit hot balls like a lot of you guys out there like doing on video. I want to hit balls that are comparable to the balls that you guys are hitting in a lot of my reviews. So he sent me 3 dozen of these Porch Ghost Max balls. And you can see, I'll give you all the numbers to them. Making sure my computer doesn't shut off. And they're 52-300s, and I was going to try those and just throw them in my bag of Thunder Advance. Let you guys know what we think about them later on. So that's a ball that we're going to be in there hitting. And I'll be more, what I want to get away from is pitching. I want to be more behind the camera, actually talking about, the way a ball comes off a bat and the way the ball performs. So we're going to start doing reviews on a lot of balls that are out there. That's another thing too, when we start talking about different gear that we get into in our opinion on, the ball, the balls that these guys are hitting, or what's the best ball out there for your bat. So that's what we want to get into. That's a different, talk about balls too. I'm going to jump right into that one. And I don't have one here with me, but did you guys see that the ball that they put out with, SSUSA, Biden, whatever they call it, that they have decided, they signed a contract, going to go 3 years with that ball. I think that's the best thing. I actually thought that rock ball that they were using for the last few years, since I can remember, I thought it was too hot. It just, you can, there were little guys hitting at 400 foot out there in Vegas. But I think this new ball, and I've hit a few of them, I think they're 44-375 compression balls. There's nothing, it's basically what it says. I think from what I've gathered, I've always thought the rock was higher compression. And then from what I gather for the last couple of years, they got busted. There were some balls that weren't compression testing at 375. They were compression testing it in the late 400, 475, 500s on a few of those balls that they compression test. And like I said in a video previously in the last 3 months, is the reason it was no ball shortage. There was no, like they were talking about, well, there's a ball shortage. Well, hold on, there's just a ball shortage in the hot balls? So all of a sudden everybody starts swinging these shit balls? Why? It's just not a ball shortage, guys. There's something else going on. I know what's going on, but I'm not going to tell you. You figure that out. But there's something going on where there was, since they knew that their balls were testing high, they couldn't use their balls anymore. That's the best I can tell you. Because they knew, the ball manufacturer knew that ball was testing high. But it's typical, isn't it? You produce something that's better than another thing, so you sell more of them. Common sense. So they were pushing the envelope, and got busted doing it. Ball compression test way higher. And I said this in a video too. We're not going to see that ball anymore. The rock. The thing was a rock. We're not going to see it anymore. It's gone. Or you'll probably see them in these little shit tournaments. Illegal ball tournament or non-sanctioned ball tournament. You'll see them in there. And they'll still sell them. They just won't, sell them at SSUSA anymore because they decided to go with the new ball. I actually have a picture of it somewhere here too. I want to get this right, man. I'm going to pull it up on there it is right there. Fire. Baden Fire. Yeah, that's it. I'll show a picture of it right here. You guys can look at it. Like I said in the first video, I have a new channel coming out, and it's going to be a paid prescription, $4.99 a month, but on this paid prescription. And I think this is the way of the future. I think once that people start doing this, there's going to be a lot of other people that's actually going to get this done to their channel. That way, since COVID came around, I think it's going to help a lot of you seniors that you don't have to get out of the house and travel, but you still go to tournaments, or you still play that weekend. You still play league around your state, around your city, around your town, where you can get better by just not traveling. The risk factor from a lot of seniors out there. because I think COVID was a senior problem, not necessarily the younger kids, although they did get it, and a lot of the kids a lot of the seniors out there that are over the age of 50 have a suppressed immune system. So I think it affected us seniors worse than it affected a lot of the kids out there. I know a ton of kids that got it, and within 12 hours they were over it. Mine especially. And all of my kids got it. I just didn't handle it. Another thing too, I mean, I got COVID. You guys may not know this, but I got COVID, was in the hospital for 6.5 days. I was in the hospital, and it took a toll on me. I lost 35 pounds, and it kicked my ass. I could hardly breathe when I went in there and feel like an elephant. And I'm just now, 2 years later, I'm just now getting where I am 100%. And the way I got there, and I'm jumping around here, guys, but it kind of rolls into that. I've been getting text messages, and if you guys been watching behind the scenes, my power is back. I've got the power that I had, close to the power that I had 4 years ago. And I worked hard. And in this new channel that I've developed, I want to show you guys what I did to get my power back. Had a lot to do with nutrition and weightlifting. And here's a thing too, is I could not lift because of, wait 1 minute. I want to show you guys something. All right, a few years ago, I haven't lifted in a while. I tried lifting after COVID, and because I lost my strength, it was very hard. So I was having neck trouble. I've been having neck trouble for a while. And if you guys seen a few of my videos, it was hard for me to swing a bat. My fingers would go numb at nighttime. I couldn't sleep. I tried everything, tried every kind of pillow. Well, my wife and I have bulging disc in my neck. I actually had injections in my neck to try to get rid of a lot of the inflammation. I have a bulge that's bulging against a nerve that's in my left, and these 3 fingers would go numb on me right here. If I'd try to lift, I'd try to do anything, the next couple of days, I would lift, and the next couple of days I would be like, oh, I can't do this no more. I would have arm trouble because it was pinching the nerve, shoulder trouble, arm trouble. I would have elbow trouble because of that nerve being pinched. Nothing wrong with the elbow, nothing wrong with the wrist, the fingers, the shoulder. It was that pinched nerve in my neck. So I couldn't lift. So what I did was, my wife, for her, because she has neck trouble too from sports, she went out and bought something. And I want to do a separate video on this. I just want to show you guys this. And I want to show you guys, I don't use it like a lot of people talk about using it. And you've seen this on TV. This is it right here. And it actually, I call it, it saved my ass. But the way they use this is you lay in front of the television, you lay flat on it, and you put your head's right here, and this goes against your neck and actually decompresses your neck vertebrae, decompresses it. And yes, it does it, but I don't lay on it for 20 minutes. I tried that, it didn't work. So if you guys got one of these, there's a way you can do it. You actually sleep with it, and that's what I started doing. I've got a Tempur-Pedic mattress, so it's pretty firm. So I sleep with this at night, and it saved my neck. The pain started to go away. It took a little bit, but the pain started going away, and I actually got into the gym, and I started lifting. When I lift, and I do a lot of bench, this is the pad that I use. So this goes behind my neck when I bench because you're forcing your shoulders back, right? Well, I don't use this no more. I used to try to use it, but I don't use it no more because of this has actually taken care of the problem in my neck. But I'm gonna do a whole different video on that and talk to you guys about how I got my power back. And it's gonna be in that paid prescription video. And I tweaked a little bit too. You just don't start lifting to get your power back. There were certain things that me and Billy worked on with my swing and kind of tweaked it a little bit. And then the lifting and all that tied in together, well, actually I got my power back where I'm hitting the ball a lot better, and you guys can see the progress in the behind the scenes videos that are coming out. But this new channel, like I was talking about, this new channel I have coming out, this paid channel, and it's going to be where you guys that sit at home, you sit in front of the computer like you're doing right now, and you watch during when it's snowing outside or whatever, You can't get outside if it's raining and you sit out there and I'm going to talk about everything. Nutrition. I'll talk about what I eat, what I cook during the week. I'm going to take you to the gym with me, show you what muscles do I use to help with softball. And it's not what you think. This is a routine that I developed that I have not told anybody about 30 years ago when I first got into this. And it's a little part of the Lou Simmons workout routine. I tweaked it and made it because you cannot grab the Lou Simmons workout routine and just jump right into that, because a lot of his guys use gear. If you guys know what I talk about, gear, steroids. So the recoup time when you're doing his kind of workout routine, you can't handle it. So a lot of people give up on it. I actually tweaked that because I didn't use gear. So you actually tweak that to actually help me with softball. And it was right trial and error. I experimented with this different workout and see if it increased my distance or increased the way the velocity of the ball came off the bat. So I've been working on this, and I have that in the archives. I have it in a flash drive, a big flash drive that I carry. I have a lot of videos in. I want to open that up to you guys on this channel. So not only, and I think I would have the best channel out there, but not only am I going to talk to you about cutting the ball. I got on, and I didn't even bring it up in here. I got on SSUSA, and somebody was talking about cutting, and they mentioned me because I hit the ball up higher when it comes in. I have no problem with a high pitch. I don't like a high pitch, but I don't have a problem hitting a high pitch. But I've learned a long time ago, you got to have weapons. You've got to have 6, 7 different weapons when you're playing softball. You just can't have one swing. You've got to have 4, 5, 6 different swings. And I have that. I think I have that. So when a ball's pitched and I got a full count on me, I got to hit it. I don't want to make an out, so I'll tomahawk it, and I'll actually wait. I've developed a way to hit that ball with power. That will all be on this new channel that I want to open up. And during the season, off season, I'm working out right now to get stronger. And then when my season is going to come up within 3 weeks to a month, I change my whole workout routine to handle the new season that's coming up and senior softball, and how to be more flexible. And still, I mean, you can see, okay, guys, I'm pretty big. I don't lift heavy weight. I haven't lifted heavy weight in 22 years, and I can still maintain mass because there's a way that I do it, nutritional wise too. I don't eat a lot of shit food. So yeah, I want to talk about all of that in this new video, nutritional wise, what I'm taking, and kind of go through all the supplements. If you guys see this bag that I have here, I mean, all the supplements that I take, you know, in this new bag, this bag that I have, and the whole bottom of it, everywhere that I go, I carry this. I carry all of these supplements. I can't even grab it, I'm not going to. Take my word for it. So I carry all these supplements that I'm going to talk about and what to do. And a lot of you guys don't. I've taken all sorts of injections. Cortisone, Roustacone. I've taken stem cell, and I kind of want to go through that and talk to you guys on what I recommend for you to take. BP 157. There's different peptides out there that you can use, not long term. This is all short term. There's a SARM, LAG, Ligandrol, that you can take for help your joints out. And those are for the guys that have tried everything and you're tired of going to the doctor, get a prescription and he's telling you the same old shit every time, because I've been there and done that shit too. This is just a different pathway that you guys can use to ask your doctor about. Because I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you to take this shit. It's just that I've talked to so many seniors, they're at their wits' end when they want to get better. They can't move. They can't get out of bed because, guys, you know this. If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, you're going to die. If you don't move, you're going to die. Stay active. Keep moving. You know, after COVID, I fought hard, you know, and I knew that if I didn't do anything, and I was weak as shit, but I knew that if I just stayed around, I wouldn't gain my health back. Because with us seniors, it's so hard. You're over the age of 40, guys, and you start tanking. It's just so hard to get up there and get at your top level again. But there's certain shortcuts that the doc will tell you about that'll actually benefit you, you know, instead of having him give you a cortisone injection once a year, which is not really good for your joints, or your tendons. We had a guy, one of our hitters, Clem, ruptured his Achilles tendon, had surgery. So I started talking to him about things that I did. Actually helped me. I was back playing softball in 5 months, guys. Whenever I was in an emergency room when I ruptured, they told me to retire. You might want to take up coaching. That was 12 years ago. 12 years ago, they told me. There was a doc in emergency. I didn't know him. It was a doc in the emergency room told me you need to retire. You ain't coming back from this. You're not coming back. He told me, you're not coming back from this. You need to retire. Maybe take up coaching. And I felt like I just worked my way, and it was my first year, senior ball. I worked my way up so hard to get to that spot, and I was killing it. And I ruptured my Achilles, my right Achilles. They had to do surgery 3-4 days later. But things that I heard, things that I've been told by doctors, I'm not talking about in the medical journals that I read for the last umpteen years doing this. So that'll all be on that new channel. All that's going to be on that new channel. Balance bats. I did a couple of reviews, 3 reviews on balance bats. All of them were good. The California Bat Company, the Greg Sernastrong, that is a very good balance bat. What's going to happen, guys, going forward from here on out, and I don't have one in front of me, sorry. But what's going to go forward from here on out is your balance are going to change. Because I think what was happening is nobody was pushing that envelope to push like a little bit in load, a little bit in load, less handle weight. Let's not go with a 11.5 or 12 ounce handle. I'm gonna use this as an example. This is an end load, so don't think but let's not go from 11 to 11.5 to this. Let's just take a little bit off. And then let's put a little bit. So let's move that weight a little bit more toward the end, but not where they're gonna feel it. Because your balance guys don't want to feel that big mass on the end. You want to feel like you're swinging, you can swing that bat fast, right? I'm going to talk about this in a minute. So you guys want to swing that bat fast, but you don't want to push that end load up, balance points going this way. So a lot of people were not pushing that envelope, so they make that balance bat, but they were just putting too much weight in the hands. What they're doing now, within the last year, is they're putting not that much handle weight here no more, and they're pushing that envelope. Okay, let's see what we can get away with before they say, whoa, that's too much as a 0.25 end load, getting close to half an ounce end load. So now it's quarter ounce end load. And I think a lot of you guys can start liking it. I think you're gonna get a lot more pop. It's gonna swing like a balance bat, and you get a lot more performance. So I think our balance bats are actually turning. And when that shit happens, people tend to fall in line. They're not going this way anymore. It's like, whoa. Everybody start doing this shit. And that's what's happening with the end loads right now, right? You notice that in the last 10 years, 15 years, everybody was up this way. They all had their little theory on what they thought an end load bat would be. So now what's happening, they're getting a formula. Everybody's getting a formula. It's moving in. So everybody's to stay with selling a senior bat. Everybody starts to get let's get in line now. We know how to build them now. It's a lot better than we did them 10 years ago because they were really shitty 10 years ago. So it's gotten to the point where all these bat manufacturers out there, we're going to have to change what we're doing, the senior softball bad bat review, because there's so many good bats out there right now. Watch my top 10 in the next 6 months. It's not going to be top 10. You're probably got 15 or 20 bats on there that are comparable to each other. So it's going to be 20 bats on my top 10 because this one swings just like this one. This one, it's just, don't think I'm saying this, but it's like this one swings just like this one. So those two are going to be up there. So that's what it's going to turn into in the future. A lot of you guys, I heard this the other day, man, about sweet spots. Some guy got on the comment section and started talking about sweet spot. Well, let me tell you what I talk about sweet spot. A sweet spot is this big on this bat. Sweet spot's this big on this bat. Your sweet spot on a bat, this is a 13-inch barrel. 13-inch barrel. So we're going to take 6.5, 6.5, 13. Going to be right in the middle. your sweet spot is actually a little bit higher. Little bit. And I'm not talking about this much higher. I'm talking about a little bit higher. It's going to be up. So it's more toward the end than it is toward this way. So you're looking at maybe a, 6 inches from the end of a 13 inch. That's where your sweet spot is. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but bats don't break in evenly. Everybody doesn't get a big sweet spot. There's where that sweet spot is marked on a bat. It might get about 2 inches. It might get about 3 inches. It might get about 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, whatever. Oh, the whole freaking bat. That's what I talk about when I talk about sweet spots. How big is a sweet spot? Prime example, cell block, the gray one. Not a very big sweet spot. You had to hit it. There's a couple other bats that I haven't finished the review on that have very little sweet spots. And you can tell when you hit it off the end, or if you hit it right here, the bat doesn't perform. Hit it right here, the bat doesn't perform. You actually got to square it up. And as you hear me in the videos go, you actually got to square it up and hit it right there in that sweet spot to get any kind of performance on it. The bigger sweet spot, depending on the carbon, the better trampoline effect you're going to get on a bat. I'm just telling you. So somebody tried to correct me and talk about sweet spots, or didn't know what I was talking about when I talk about actually ended my review on sweet spot on this bat is this big. And they try to tell me it's giving me measurements and shit. I don't care. So I just want to explain. So what they're saying doesn't get passed on to you guys. I want to explain to you why or how we determine how big a sweet spot's at. Blake, if you guys watch behind the scenes, you'll see a new bat out there, and it could be different colors. It's an Onyx bat. Blake has been swinging it. It's called the Blake 2.0. That will be at within 4 or 5 months, probably beginning next year. Blake 2.0. It's not going to be like the Blake 584. I think the Blake 584 in a two-piece is probably one of the best bats out there. I'm not going to tell you where, but it's one of the best bats out there. We still swing it. And behind us, you can see us swinging it behind the scenes. But the Blake 2.0 is going to be I'm not going to tell you that. It's a Blake 2.0. It's a two-piece. And you'll know more about it. If you watch behind the scenes, you'll see us swinging it right now. In this new channel that I have going on, there's a saying that There's a saying that I was taught years ago. And somebody would start talking about a high arc. And the one thing that the way I've developed my swing is you're only as strong as your weakest link. So if I had, it used to be the high arc. So in my 20s and 30s, so I actually practiced to hit that pitch because I wanted to get strong at that weak link that I had. So in my new channel, that's what I'm going to talk about. You're only as strong as your weakest link. If you have something on your body that is weak, you need to strengthen it. So it makes the whole body actually perform at a top level. And you don't have to worry about it. That's the approach that I take to hitting. You want to get stronger in your weakest link. So that's one thing that I actually have told people out there is you're only as strong as your weakest link. So whatever weakness you find on your swing or in your workout routine, you need to strengthen it. Rolling, I don't know, and this is one of them that I don't know if I have this on here. And I don't think I do, but somebody asked a question because they watch one of my videos about rolling a senior softball bat. Now I'm going to do a video on this, and I already did a video on it. You guys might not know this, but I did a video on rolling a senior softball bat about 10 years ago. And I put it out there. One of the first guys to talk about it. And I put it out there. I gave my honest opinion on it. I don't think Bubba and Billy were actually on the channel at that time. It was just me with a few seniors out here in San Antonio hitting. Wasn't as big as I am now. So I gave my opinion on what I thought about rolling. I don't want to talk about it now because I'm going to create a big ass controversy, but I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion. And I'm going to throw some shit in there. Too many people are focused on rolling and not shaping. Or not weight distribution. You know the biggest, y'all guys think rolling, and that guy Dave from SSUSA got on there and says, it's altering a senior bat, it's altering. Well, fuck, there's so many things you can do to a senior bat to alter it.
Shaving is altering it. Shaving is worse than, you guys go watch that video too that's coming out right after this one, that we're hitting a shave bat. And I'm here to tell you, shave bat is ungodly. It does not compare to a senior bat. The top senior bat, because we compared it to the top senior bat out there. My top 5. It blows them away. Blows them away. So I want to talk about rolling. So here's the first thing. Shaving a bat, the worst thing. You know what the second worst thing? Weight distribution. So what they're doing now is they're popping caps. They're taking a cap out of this. This actually popped out. It fell out. This is another cap from another one. It popped out. You guys remember these bats, these OGs? Years ago, they had a flaw where the end cap used to pop out. So what happens is with the OGs, they had that, if you would get inside of them, they had that gooey shit all over the inside of them. And then they would pop them in there and they put a little bit of glue on it. And what happened was when these bats are old, when they would sit in the garage and heat and everything, it actually would mess up the rosin and mess up the glue. Where now, if you take them out, swing them, boom! So if you see somebody swinging one of these in BPR game and it pops the cap off, doesn't mean it's altered. It just means that this bat does that. All the OGs and all the 2.0s, because they've been sitting around for such a long time and they had that goo shit inside of them, and I think it deteriorated over a period of time from getting hot and cold, that it just broke all that away, that's inside there, and it just cracked open. So, okay, here, the weight distribution, I'll talk about this. This video is going to be long. It's going to be a long ass video. Weight distribution in these bats, right? So, if you take this bat and you add some weight into this, right? You're altering this bat and you're increasing the performance on this bat. So let's say you take this bat and you take that little pin out of there. You see it right there. I think you guys can see it. You see it right there. And you're taking this out of there, because this is what goes inside there. You're taking this out of there, and you're shaving that sumbitch down. And you're putting back on there. Increases the performance of this bat greatly. Not just a little bit. Not like a shave bat, but better than what it was. You're increasing the performance on this bat, because you pull that out of there. And then what they do is they just glue it, screw it back in there, see if they get that pin line up. They don't give a shit. They'll get pin, they'll stick the pin back in there. But a lot of times they cut it off where the pin's at, where the hole's at in the other one. They'll cut them down to here. They'll cut them down to that pin. Glue it back in there. It's altering. So, but that's what they're doing. To all these bats, a lot of these bats, that you actually can pull that out of there. A lot of them nowadays, they're actually gluing it where you can't get into it. But they're doing the in plug. They're taking a regular bat, let's say this bat, and they're pulling our balanced bat, because if you think about it, balanced bats are made carbon-wise different than regular bats. They're making them more livelier. I'm spilling the guts, man. I'm telling you right now, this is what's happening. Okay, you know the OG, the black one? Okay, this is the 13-inch. They made the 12-inch. The yellow knob. Well, they got the black one. You know the black one's carbon is wound different than these, the actual red knob. And this bat, you guys didn't know that, did you? That carbon is wound hotter. So what they would take with those black bats, they would pop the end cap off of it, get another end cap, and they would load it. Because if you pop the end cap off, it has nothing in there. So they would put lead or whatever, tungsten, and they'd pop it back on there. Increase the performance. You wouldn't get a lot of swings out of it, probably 500, up to 900 swings out of it. But that bat was ungodly. So it's weight distribution now. They've been changing for years. You guys don't know that. So when I hear people talk about rolling, that's the least of your trouble. Because I think, my opinion is rolling. I'm getting way too into it. I might cut that shit out, that part out, because that's going to take away from the video. So that's another thing too. This cap pops out, because they usually do. DeMarini does it too. The new ones, caps pop out. They don't glue them in really good. So let's say I had the cap pop out of one of the DeMarinis, not Larry Carter. Had a cap pop out of one of the DeMarinis. So I grabbed that cap, I put some glue on the end of it, popped it back in there. The bat's altered. I just took the same damn cap out of it, put some glue on it, stuck it into myself. You think Demery's going to exchange that for me? No, they're not. So I just, okay, what are you going to do? You spend $5 at Home Depot? Or are you going to you just spent $200 on a freaking bat? So if I put that cat back in that Demery and I'm hitting a game and I didn't glue it good enough and it falls out, people are going to look, oh, you altered it. Oh, you didn't. But you're going to be labeled as a freaking bat shaver or a bat guy that alters his bats. That's bullshit. All because DeMarini or some other bat company won't take the damn end cap back and give you another one or put another one in it. I remember when they were falling out so much that you would call Dudley and they'd say, can you send me an end cap? And they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't send you an end cap. So what am I supposed to do with this? Your damn end cap's defected. It falls out, especially if they're older. But they don't give a shit. You bought the bat, they don't care. Move on to the next person. You guys need to stop getting butthurt on these bat manufacturers because they're in it to make money. That's how come the shaving shit ain't gonna change. Shaving a bat ain't gonna change. You're still paying for the bat, right? You wanna make a change? Quit buying the fucking bat. It's the only way to make shit change. It's like your TV show. You don't like TV, quit watching it. Shit's gonna change then. No viewership. Same thing with bats. You know, you don't like this bat? Don't buy it. He's either gonna change his bat, make it better, change it. And you're the only people that can change it. As long as you keep on buying it, you don't give a shit. Got a challenge. Before I get this last one, I got a challenge to all you guys out there. And you're watching this, you're on this couch or whatever. Do something in the off season. I don't care what it is. Get on a bike. You can't get on a bike, get on a stationary bike. Walk. Get out and do something. Because a lot of guys retire and a lot of guys give up because as old as we are, you get in that little downward, I don't want to say slump, but you get in that little downward where it's so hard to fight back. You know, especially if your testosterone's low. It's so hard to fight back, to get back up where you were before. I think that's the reason a lot of the pros that a lot of you guys want to see at these senior tournaments don't come out and play anymore. Because it's just so hard, you know, to come back and play. The desire is gone. Two more things and I'm done. And I'll probably cut some out of this. So we're doing to it pretty long. A lot of you guys asked me to come out and hit. That's my brother. Not my brother, but one of my brothers, like I call you my brother. Asked me if we're going out dancing tonight. And yes, we are. A lot of you guys asked me, and I'm not trying to be a dick, believe it or not, believe me, I'm not trying to be a dick. A lot of you guys asked to come out and hit. You got to understand what we do here. We're testing or we're talking about senior bats. You know, what happened, prime example, a couple of weeks back, 3 weeks ago, somebody stopped by and asked if he just wanted to come out and shag. And I was kind of like, oh, no, I know what you want to do. You just want to shag it first and later on get into it, start hitting with us. I said, I understand. Oh, okay. I understand. And I said, he goes, no, I just want to come out and shag. I said, all right. You know, so he comes out and shags, and we don't really have shaggers because we only go through the balls once. Well, then he gets up there and he just starts crushing. He just starts killing it. And I'm stopping him. He gets 5 swings into it. Stop and give him another bat. 5 swings into it. Stop and give him another bat. 5 swings in. I wasn't letting him tear the bats up because he's going to go through a lot of bats. He's going to destroy a lot. He's a square ball hitter, just crushing it. He's not cutting the ball. He's just squaring it up and hitting it. I'm like, we've got freaking 10 bats out there. And he's going to destroy, I guarantee you, 3 of them before he's done. So I kind of like, stop, whoa, dude. And this is the reason why. And then you guys kind of talk to me and go, well, hey, I don't really hit that hard. I just want to come out and take some swings. Because we're working on something. We're listening, you know, and a lot of these guys just want to talk to us. And I'm trying to hear. Billy's trying to hear. Bubba's trying to hear. Trey's trying to give his input on a thing. And my attention is not to those people. And they get kind of like, well, he's a dick. He doesn't even talk to me. No, I'm not a dick. This is something I got to do for you guys. So what I started thinking about, and Charlie Muto came up with this the other day, was why don't you start going places to hit? Why don't you take all of your shit, drive, if it's out of state, because, driving to Louisiana ain't bad, New Mexico ain't bad, Oklahoma's not bad, and I would even fly to Florida to hit. I would love to hit with bogey. I'd love to fly to California and hit, and even during the summertime, maybe fly up north if you guys' weather is good. Why not do that? And Charlie was telling me, I said, shit, that sounds like a damn good idea. And in the meantime, they're in San Antonio, they hit Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I already talked to those guys, and I'm going to start going out there maybe on Wednesdays, because we hit on Tuesdays and Thursdays is mainly our days to hit. So I was going to go out there on Wednesdays and start videotaping a lot of the seniors from senior softball in San Antonio. Then they have a league that they play, and they hit during the day. In the mornings, like 9 o'clock, I was going to go out there, set up my camera, and throw my bats out there, and guys, just have at it. Let me know what your opinion is. So that's what I think is on the front burner. There's something I want to talk about here, and I caught shit on this. I want to use my computer a little bit here. The reviews that I had, and I want to kind of brighten this. The reviews that I had come out, the Rev is already out. That one, the Serna Senior California Bat Company, that one's already out. The blue 13.5 inch Onyx big end load, that one's tied number 1. The Popper, the Wig Popper, I forgot to talk about that. The Wig Popper bat teaser is already out. The green balance bat, which is actually a very good balance bat, is actually out right now. Those are the ones that are already out there, and I talked about at the beginning of this video. I want to talk about this bat a little bit, and I got a 26. This is the one we're swinging in the video. This is the 26 ounce. You can see us swinging in that video. This is it. What I wanted to do, and the end weight's 17 ounce, 8.3. What I wanted to do is get a 27. Bubba swings a heavier bat. So I want to get a 27, and I want to look at the weights. What he did was went out in half ounce increments. He went up half an ounce here, half an ounce there. And they're pretty spot on from this bat to that bat. So that's what I wanted to see, because a lot of bat manufacturers out there will just load the fucking hands up and throw it out there, which will at least deaden the performance of this bat compared to this bat, Suncoast. So what I got here on the 27 was 17.5 on the end at 8.9. You notice that on a 27 ounce end load, that number's still below 9. Good, not bad, that's good. This is the new one, can't wait to swing it. That bat will be in my top 10 right now just by swinging it that one round. Very hot bat. Now I want to talk about something. I did a video, 2 different videos. I got my ass handed to me in these videos. Now I want to talk about something. This bat right here, in plug in it, not altered, but in plug in it, sells for a lot of money on eBay. Sells for a lot of money. This is a Dudley. Does this bat sell for a lot of money? No. I bet they're buying these bats for $175. This one $400. Why? Why are they doing that? Because this one fucking outperforms this one. That's why, right? Have you guys looked at the old Adidas? I have. I got my ass handed to me about what I put and just common sense, just work with me. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. Work with me here. They're selling used Adidas 2019 for $250. One starting bid in here is $199. I'm gonna go down the line. The 2017 Adidas 12-inch barrel orange one, and I think it has Bobby Davis, Rumi, Davey Reed on there, and I think a couple other guys. 2017, they have a 25, 26, 27, 28, $449 to $519. That bat is fucking good. One piece. $300, they got an Adidas 2-piece, in-loaded. $300. They've got a Adidas. One's brand new, $250. I guarantee he sells that quick. It's the red one. Remember the red 2-piece? I was in Vegas. They had a red 2-piece. $300 on the table. Somebody came up and picked it up that morning when I was sitting there talking to Patty. Walked up to them, gave $300 for it, walked off. They can't keep them on the shelf long enough. 2017, that's a balanced $439 to $500. They're pulling in this. They're pulling in this kind of money, right? And well worth it, guys. Well worth it. 255, 300 for another balance bat. Now these aren't rolled and these aren't shaved. $500, 2019, 2-piece, 12-inch, end loaded. $500, brand new. And I get this off the review that I did about 4 months ago, 3 months ago. That bat, that I'm crazy. That bat is as good as the Adidas bats. Now, common sense would tell me if it is, then why aren't they selling them for $500? Why? Okay, these guys that want to pay this kind of money for them old bats, why don't you just go and buy a brand new bat from right now? That didn't even make my top 10. If you guys are so positive that that bat is one of the best bats that Suncoast put out, just go buy one. You're saving $250. Don't buy those piece of shit Adidas bats. Don't buy them. Hell, $515 right here. That's not bidding. That's what they're asking for. If you guys think, those bats are telling me that those bats hottest Suncoast they've ever swung, then buy it. But whenever this bat, it's common sense, guys. When this bat's selling for 400, 350, 400 right now, and this bat's selling for 170, it's just common sense. Which one's a better performer? Well, this one is. Or they wouldn't even get no money out of this. You just go buy a brand new one of these. No swings out. These are selling used for $400. Brand new. 175, 200. Well, if that's true, why are they still selling these? If that's true, if you guys are telling me the Suncoast new ones are better than the old ones, why are they still selling the old ones? Kind of get me there? It doesn't make any fucking sense. So when I got my ass trashed for putting that video with that new Diamond 2 Pro, not even my top 10, I got email to call, I got text message, all kind of shit. But that same guy is going telling me that bat's as good as his old one. No, it ain't, dude. We swung them. We wanted to throw them in a parking lot like Bubba. I said, Bubba, don't throw them in a parking lot. Bubba said shit in a video that I had to cut out because it was so bad about that bat. So no, I mean, that's the common sense. A lot of you guys, try to tell me that you're wrong, and they put out this big, I'm quit watching you because I'm just watching you for entertainment purposes only, and that's it because, you did a mistake. No, I didn't do a mistake. Here's another thing too, guys, 50 minutes, man. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Everything's not etched in stone. Everything, what I say is not the gospel. I don't even think we're that way. It's just our opinion. You don't like it, you don't have to take it. A lot of you guys get butthurt because you hear me talk about something. It's just our opinion. I happen to be the talker, guys. So when I say me, I usually mean me and Billy and Bubba and Trey. And I hear them talk. That I have the final say. If any shit comes down, it comes down to me. It doesn't go to those guys. That's the reason I say me a lot of times. So that's it. Guys, have a great, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Have a better Christmas. And get off the couch. Get out there and start working. Join my new channel. Get out there and start working. I've got a ton of stuff on the side that I'm already putting in. I've done 4 podcasts already, me talking. It's in the dark, and I'm driving to the ranch, a 2.5 hour podcast. And I'm talking about all kind of shit in there, mainly softball, but I'm talking about all kind of shit. Get on the channel, the new channel. It's going to be coming up in about another 2 weeks. And guys, have a better 2023 and get off the couch. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and I've got a couple more here for you to watch. And I've also got a subscribe button, so hit on it and then hit the bell. That way you get notifications whenever I put out another video. Thanks, guys.